All right, Purdue, Wisconsin in the Big Ten. We've got Wisconsin 2-point home favorites, 51-52 the total. There's no doubt Wisconsin is showing a little bit of life since the coaching change, but they still end up losing to Michigan State 34-28 in overtime last week. Very surprising to see the defense. Well, the defense has had some bad games this year, Illinois, Ohio State, but with the way Michigan State was struggling on offense, it was surprising to see Wisconsin have that kind of defensive effort for Jim Leonard, who will now be coaching his third game since taking over as the interim head coach for the fired, dismissed Paul Christ. We'll see how this one goes. Purdue, 4 wins in a row for them. They beat Minnesota on the road as dogs. They beat Maryland as dogs on the road. Nebraska, a little sloppy. Not a great defensive showing from Purdue. But boy, offensively with Aiden O'Connell, they continue to cook. How about Devin Mockabee for 178 rushing yards against Nebraska? And Charlie Jones, man, this connection with Charlie Jones and Aiden O'Connell has been special for Purdue. Those guys have been just great chemistry, quarterback, wide receiver combination right there. When you look at Wisconsin's defense, they've struggled against the pass. They've definitely been worse against the pass, and that's where Purdue's really good offensively, throwing that football, chucking that football down the field with O'Connell. So, look, I know they had the big first win, coaching change. We were seeing, okay, Wisconsin should be able to sustain it, playing a struggling, reeling Michigan State team, and they could not do it. They ended up losing. So I'm not laying points with Wisconsin here. In fact, I'm hoping this hits 3, and I might look Purdue again. Purdue in the road dog role, I'm telling you. Road underdogs, this Purdue team. They've been biting teams this year in this spot. The Minnesota win outright as underdogs. Maryland win outright as underdogs. They're 2-0 ATSs, Big Ten road underdogs so far. And here they are again, road underdogs. I think Purdue might actually be the better football team. So Purdue or nothing for this better. What do you think here, C-Mac?
Yeah, that was I thought that was a bad number with Wisconsin at Michigan State, and not a very good Michigan State team, and didn't get
Michigan
it done.
State struggling, but they weren't ready to lay 7 on the road. Wisconsin,
No,
clearly.
no,
Yeah.
definitely not. I think Purdue's the better team. It's just at Wisconsin here, it just seems like a bad spot for Purdue. I mean, this would be big if they can do that. And you mentioned if we could get 3 here, I think that could be key because this could be a close game. Purdue, kind of that when they played last week again, Nebraska, what was it, FAU, even though O'Connell was out, a little bit sloppy, get out, get the win, don't cover. But yeah, when I have the better quarterback here, I want them in the end. I just don't know if I get to the window with this one.
Yeah, that's true. Minnesota did not have Ibrahim when they beat Minnesota. That's a good point, Ron. But this Wisconsin team's just not very good. They got the one win. They got the one win against Northwestern in a game, in a spot where you knew they were going to be fired up for the coaching change. The first game with the new coach pumps everybody up. They should have been able to follow that up with a win against Michigan State, and they couldn't. And the secondary's not good for Wisconsin this year. And you look at, and everybody talks about Camp Randall, Madison. Oh, tough at home at Wisconsin. They haven't been good ATS at home for a very long time. And this year at home, 17.5-point home favorites to Washington State. They lost the damn game outright. 6.5-point home favorites to Illinois. They lost the damn game outright. So this notion that Wisconsin and Camp Randall there and Bucky Badger, it's this, home field that we need to be quaking in our boots. That's a bunch of garbage as far as I'm concerned. Garbage.